first. You are unbroken, you think. What has happened has happened. Now it's time to move on, just like anything else.
Hey! Did I scare you?
Yeah, I must have just zoned out. No, I got it. Look, can you just...
Then begins the jumpiness, but that's easy to brush off.
An extremely strong story that allows you to feel the tension of someone who struggles with a mental disorder such as PTSD. We feel for her when we see just how her paranoia can take over her life. The background sounds of the tick-tock really show and give us an insight of what's happening inside of her brain.
Really smartly done. They do a great job at sort of leaning in, but not too heavily, into the subject matter without ever calling it out explicitly, kind of letting you fill in the blanks, but at the same time, at least for me, it seems very clear, the context here. And I think it was handled so delicately in the filmmaking, in everything. And a lot of elements come together really well to assist it. Just the way tension is built, with the way some shots are framed, and even the sound mix was done really well to help complement that. So all in all, it comes together in a really compelling way.
I could feel that discomfort and the paranoia of this main character under my own skin. It was so palpable. It was extremely visceral filmmaking, which is not the easiest thing to do, and I think it was very well aided by the soundscape and the music. It just felt like thousands of bees rushing around my head, or the sound of nails on a chalkboard. The hands on the face was a really interesting image, and the young woman just being in a room of darkness, I think, captured depression and mental illness in some really bold images that translated to me as a viewer perfectly.
So powerful was definitely like all of the scenes where like the hands are coming and like silencing her or pulling at her, and all of that just being like society's pressure and society's stereotypes, and how they treat things and how they treat people, and the expectations of everybody, and even if they're self-imposed, like all of those things. And then to have like the background like noise and music to be what it was during those scenes, and like was so intense. And when she's like curled up on the bed, like trying to breathe and trying to work through it or whatever else, like all of those, the background noises forced you to kind of feel what she was feeling. And it was so well done, and such an interesting concept to have the different like pairs of hands like physically come at her. I really liked the entire thing. I thought it was powerful.
A profound piece, and the actress Dana brought the vision to life. There was some strong symbolism at work when the plate broke into shards in the sink, and the scenes with all the intruding hands not only looked creepy and cool, but also really isolated the toxic and helpless feeling for someone to feel after an assault. Shout out to the cinematographer and sound mixer for that scene as well. The actress disappeared in the black background, the narrative was haunting, and the clock hands striking loudly really gave me the same sense of time loss as experienced by the character.
I feel like it's a very poetic piece. It's very strong, very well acted. I feel like the story is pretty heavy, but I love the use of kind of like dream sequences and the setting. I feel like that was one of like the production design in general. I feel like was such a strong aspect of this short.
I think it was fantastic. I absolutely love this one. It was so real and so raw, and I think that with the cinematography and the editing, I think they did a great job really getting you in the mindset of her. And I love this scene where you see hands kind of come through her hair and almost like try to silence her. And I love that shot. That was so beautifully captured. Even it's a dark scene and dark material, it felt so real and it felt so alive. I think it was a great story. I think it was a great execution. Everything was just fantastic with this one. I really, really liked it.
An in-depth look at the terror that is found within trauma. But it also shows by its conclusion the hope that can come out at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. We see the protagonist really in the nitty-gritty of it. You know, some of our worst moments in life can be alone in bed in the middle of the night. You know, that's when so much past pain and current stress and concerns and worries flood our minds. And I thought the film did a fantastic job portraying that, the isolation of it, the desperation in that quietness, when sleep just won't give you solace. So I thought it did a fantastic job of portraying that. But again, the most important thing that it does also portray is hope, that it shows that we can survive these things, we can get through it, and that they always will remain a part of us, but that they do not, at the end of the day, completely define us. And I think that's always an important message to articulate, especially in film, and this film does that successfully.